It devastates families, not just the passing, but in the fight of trying to find treatment.
Tonight, this father is sharing the very personal story of his son Daniel's overdose death. Now Scott Weidel is turning the tragedy into motivation to fight against the root cause of opiate addictions. Kelly Mays in our studio now with this story. Kelly?
We got that father, Scott Weidel. This company with their namesake is the empire he built and was ready to hand over to his son, who knew every job there and who he says was committed to his recovery. 8 months clean when a snag in Daniel's medical care meant turning to heroin.
Tell me about Daniel as a person.
You're going to make me cry. Love the outdoors, love to walk the woods.
At the Weidel Corp office in Germantown, Scott Weidel's son Daniel's work boots and hard hat are here just like he would be any other day. Even though it's been more than a year since Daniel's death, they remind Scott what he's really working for these days.
I'm a little lost, so I'm finding my grounding in fighting for him.
Years before working for his father, Daniel was using heroin.
He's the one that reached out for help.
So there was rehab out of state, then a relapse at home, and more rehab.
And then we discovered the word Vivitrol. He felt relief, but I felt more relief because we knew he was safe for 30 more days.
Vivitrol is used once a month to treat people addicted to opiates like heroin by blocking them from getting the high feeling. Daniel was clean on Vivitrol for 8 months when something happened that changed the Weidel family's course.
And then his provider decided to stop coming to work. We never have figured out why. It's our group's policy not to treat addiction. It's about the clearest answer that I've got.
They scrambled to find a new doctor so Daniel could get his medicine.
And I was scared. We called 2 or 3 more doctors, and all of them said the same thing for no reason of anything that Daniel did. And we lost Daniel. Because we couldn't find a provider to give him his 9th Vivitrol shot. That's what I call the medical discrimination of the disease of addiction.
We asked the state medical board about if any laws were broken. They said without a formal complaint against the doctor, it's unclear. But the next day, Scott's day job changed. He spent the last year researching the root of the problem of opiate addictions, like the one that took his son.
The pharmaceutical companies and the money and the peer pressure from the patients, it's out of hand and it needs reined in.
According to the CDC, the amount of opioids prescribed quadrupled from 1999 to 2013, and Ohio has one of the highest prescribing rates in the country.
I don't think this is a problem that was created solely by physicians.
We went to the State Medical Association in Columbus to see what's being done to change opiate overprescribing.
I think we're actually turning a corner on the prescribing side in the state of Ohio.
Reginald Field says the Ohio medical community is aware it's a problem and says steps are being taken to stop it. But there's no mandatory training for doctors for opiate prescribing.
Should it be mandatory if Ohio is in the middle of an epidemic?
Well, certainly, at this point, what we're doing here in the state of Ohio, if you look at the recent numbers, for the last 4 years, the number of opioids that have been prescribed in the state of Ohio has decreased.
Which is a start, but not enough for Scott Weidel to give up marching on.
A lot of our dealers have been right under our noses.
It's a pretty harsh statement to make about Ohio's doctors.
I'm sorry if I'm harsh on doctors, but the numbers just lead me to say, wake up.
Scott is working with lawmakers in Columbus to have some legislative reform about opiate overprescribing. We'll keep you posted as they work on this.